Welcome back, airgun friends. I thought I was done. I thought I had it all figured out. I mean, I worked every airgun I owned, adjusted everything on them. I was happy. I was fully content. And then I had one more idea, so we're not done. I don't do channel updates. I just do things and I post them. And if you're a Canadian air gunner, you'll find something useful in them. I only put out things when there's something to take out of it, and they'll fuss around doing it at that. Been off the air for a while, so this seems like the only way to get back into things. I got some loose ends, I got some new stuff, and I got a bit of a plate of crow to eat. So I'm going to start with that. Right there. Gotta take down storage case. Okay. So this winter, what I was working on last was just to size up in my head what less lethal air guns could do for me. Like, what can we do with these? Is it worth getting less lethal launchers on top of pellet air guns? Could I have a use for that? And I experimented with these 10 millimeter slingshot balls, steel slingshot balls, in a CO2 pistol. So you probably caught that last. It was a Nemesis with a barrel extension, 10 millimeter extension. This is my 22 CO2 Nemesis. And I got 30 joules out of it, which was cool because that's the sort of numbers I was looking to experiment with. You land the right kind of less lethal, you could get, without too much work, you could get around 30 joules. And that's pretty much where I wanted to start. I don't want to start on a 7 joule, 11 joule less lethal. I don't think that's even worth the bother. But there's a lot of them out there. So can you take one of those, crank it up just enough to get some 30-ish joule range out of it, which is a good balance for using your CO2, having enough shots, rah, rah, rah. And, well, it worked great, actually. I got some tests done. Accuracy at 35 feet. I was landing a decent group. Impact tests. I was getting better impact than whatever top performance I could get out of a pellet. So I did confirm that a 30 joule less lethal is more effective, let's say, than a 22 pellet rifle if you're going to get somebody to scram. That's confirmed. So after that, I tried making it spring powered out of a breaker. 10 millimeter barrel on a breaker doesn't work. This is what I gotta complain about, I guess, is the power I can get out of CO2 is so much different than what you can get out of a compression Springer, because the CO2 has so much potential for expansion. You give it more barrel, you get more expansion, more acceleration, more speed all the time. It's so easy to work with. Air doesn't have that property. If there isn't enough air behind it, there's just nothing that you can do. You would need an extremely big compression chamber, an extremely violent Springer to get to 30 joules with those 4 gram 10 millimeter steel balls. And I promised results. I may have extended myself, and I promised results. So the best result I got was 90 FPS, 9-0. which is nothing to post about. I spent 2-3 days on it a while ago, and that's as fast as I can get them. The Springer less lethal doesn't work, and this is no Canadian Springer either. This has a whole story. This is my Beeman Black Panther dual swappable barrels 17722, which I brought up to 14 foot-pounds for the sake of shooting steel balls out of it. And that's how I got 90 FPS. This went through all kinds of power modifications, and now it's back to stock, not detuned, not corked. This rifle had a cork shortstop in the tube to take air out of the compression chamber to shoot 8 foot-pounds, which it doesn't have anymore. You might not see it, but I removed all that. I cleaned it up, and now it's completely disassembled because it's over the limit. In Canada, it doesn't fly. I don't have a PAL, so this has to be a pile of parts. If there ever is, this is the trigger group. If there ever is a change in the rules or a change of situation or a survival emergency, and put this back together, I'll have a 14 foot-pound hunting 22, which is otherwise extremely well tuned. It's extremely accurate. I have a custom trigger on it. It's great. It's absolutely great. It's a little bit loud given the power, so even at that, I wouldn't shoot it in my backyard because I'm going to attract complaints. And if I get checked up on it, it's completely in pieces. Even if you get all the pieces that are in the case here, you can't put it together because all the pins and screws and the seal and everything else is locked away in another locker. So it's as legal as I can make it, which is just a pile of parts. So that's that for the less lethal Springer. Didn't work. Last year was shooting 22 at 40 yards. My 22s got to be so well adjusted, and I went through all of them, and I shot this way out in the woods. I shot it around, what was it back then? Somewhere around 12 foot-pounds in the power setting that it had at 40 yards. It was interesting. I was getting 1.5 inch, 2-inch groupings. And then I switched to my most favorite one, which my Crossman, my nitro pistol, is so smooth, so much fun to shoot. 8 foot-pounds, brought that to 40 yards, got 3 inches and change. So I thought, yeah, you need at least 12 plus foot-pounds to maintain accuracy past 25 yards, which is my standard backyard range. It's 25 yards. You want to go further, you gotta bring more power in 22 at the very least. And then I was running some hypothetical scenarios in my head, and I thought, lighter 177 shoots out at 500 FPS. This shoots out a 22 at 500 FPS. What if the 22 has the weight working against it, increased decay in trajectory, spreading from a dime at 25 yards to a pellet tin of 3 inches at 40 yards? And what if the 177 didn't suffer as much? Same 500 FPS coming out, since it's so much lighter, maybe it can maintain better trajectory. So I tried it, which is very different. I shoot the Umarex Browning underlever, also adjusted for accuracy, also pinpoint at 25 yards. I took it to 40, and yeah, I was in the 2-inch average. I got 2 flyers. I can't tell, it's the first time I'm shooting it. Picnic table out there is completely full of ice. I had blocks on it to put my sandbag, but they're completely frozen. I couldn't move them around to have the right position, so I was crouched back and holding the rifle where it shouldn't. And anyway, I got a really good demonstration out of it all the same. So this summer, upcoming spring and summer, I'm going to work on this. This is going to be set 40 yards, and I'm going to keep it at that, because at 25, I can't get the action that I get out of my 22. They're both as accurate at 25 yards, but this spins my flippers, my steel flippers, really efficiently, and this is just a bit weak. I can't get the action out of the reset target to work as well as that. Hunting wise, 25 yards would be pretty much the limit, and it's my practice for that, and I like seeing the reaction on the flippers with a 22. At 40 yards, I would not try to hunt, probably not. It's something really small, but it's not accurate, so it's not going to do. Since it's just paper at 40 yards, 4 foot-pounds makes really no difference. I just want to see the group. So that's going to be permanently set at 40 yards. It's a good fit because this is my super light chopped up Crossman nitro piston. It's really fun to carry around. It doesn't catch on the ground. You can really just take a walk with this. You don't even need a sling. It's quite practical. This weighs 9.5 pounds, which to this like 7 pounds. But it's classy. I really like it. You set up on the bag, and you're not walking around at all. And it's slick, and really I get in the mood of target shooting a whole lot when I'm using this rifle. Where this one is more like tactical practice, and it's great. This has a whole different feel, and I do like a nice wood finish underlever. I'm snobby like that, I guess, but this now makes way more sense. Each have their very designated function, and that's always a little, what do you say, a little pet peeve to have each rifle really set to their dedicated, purpose. The last thing is, this is for sale. You're in Canada, and you're in the market for a 1377 pumper. It's in top shape condition, doesn't hold air, doesn't leak, comes fully equipped with a 2x scope, works on the carbine configuration. It's far enough, like you would put it on a shotgun or something. It's far enough to scope very well. Eye relief is right on at that point. And if you put it back to the pistol grips, it still works for the eye relief. I don't know if you can see it. This is not because it's broken, it's because I oiled it. And I didn't expect that the detent would be so light on it. But as soon as you oil a 1377, it's like there's barely anything holding it there. But the pumping is so smooth. You get to 10, I forgot to count. But anyway, I could keep going. I think that's 10, 11, 12. That works very well. Anyway, you're always holding it. Those are the Crossman mounts. They are shimmed with a little bit of thin plastic. That means it doesn't move around, doesn't skip, doesn't lean the barrel left and right like it would. Usually these are not the best, but like this, it's rock solid. I have a couple of extra tie wraps that pin down the barrel, which prevents the breech from wobbling, because this breech on 1377s is not the strongest. It's just one tiny screw or two holding that down. But this has zero wiggle set up like that. I'm asking 175 fully equipped, and I'll ship it. If you're in Canada, you're looking for one of these, I have one, and I don't, it's not my thing. I don't shoot it barely. I mean, besides setting it up and comparing it to other air guns back in the day when I was at the point that I was, that's all I did with it, really. And it's fine. I'm just tired of seeing it sit around. I'm more into full size rifles or into breakers. Quicker action, and I mean, for the range and for what you're shooting with it, I tend to go with this more than this. Otherwise, I'm still around. If you have questions about accuracy, power adjustments on, especially on Crossman Nitros, the 22s, I've got this one down pack. If your Crossman Nitro 22 is not giving you what you were hoping for, we could fix it. You can always drop me a line for that. If you're interested in this, you just drop me a line. We'll contact each other. I've sold air guns before on the Canadian Airgun Forum. I don't have any issues with paying the shipping or any of that. So that's my channel update. I guess we're gonna move on to long range 177 and just keep posting improvements about that, weather permitting. Now the winter's starting to go away and I'm getting back into shooting. So I'll see you on the next one. Thank you.